Hello and welcome. My name is Tony Budd from Castle Douglas here. I'm a local chef in the area. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you chicken Thai curry with some bamboo shoots and a little bit of basil. Really simple, really quick, easy to produce and should be quite tasty. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to cut up the chicken thighs. I use chicken thighs, one because they're a lot cheaper, and two, the brown meat can stand up to all the spices and things like that. It's quite robust. So you can either get your butcher to bone out the thighs if you want, but they're quite easy to do, and then just remove the skin. Just to run through the ingredients, I've got some chicken stock, which I made from the bones of the chicken. I've got some chilies, I've got the bean sprouts. In here, I've got some red Thai curry paste, which I made yesterday. All it is chilies, garlic, lemongrass, zest of limes, some lime juice, and then you just blitz it. You also toast off some cumin seeds and some coriander seeds, toast them off, and then just blitz them in if you've got a little grinder. Again, you can buy that in your local supermarket, it's quite cheap, and it keeps for ages. In here I've got some sugar, lime obviously, an onion, and in here I've got some coconut milk. So about half a can of coconut milk in here, just ready for the sauce. The chicken, I've got about 2 portions here, so 2 thighs per portion. And what I'm going to do is just quickly dice this up and get it ready to put into the pan. So I've trimmed it up, I've took most of the fat off, and I'm just going to cut it. You don't want it to be too big of chunks, because obviously it'll take a wee while to cook, and try and keep them all a nice even size. So I'm just kind of roughly cutting these up, so, and doing the rest. This. So this is quite a cheap dish. I costed it out, and roughly for 2 people, you're talking less than £5 just for this. So it's quite cheap. And what I'm going to do is serve it with some rice. And what I've done with the rice is I've washed the rice off 3 or 4 times, and then just cooked it in the other half of the coconut milk, and just boiled it up in that, and cooked it until the liquid was almost gone, and then put it in the strainer and just let it strain out naturally. You don't want to start washing the rice after you've cooked it. I'll just wash my hands over here. Get my hands out of the wash. You don't want to wash all the coconut off the rice, because you'll lose all the nice coconut flavour. So I'll show you that later on. So we've got my chicken cut up. I'm just going to change boards and wash my knife and cut up the chilies. So I've got my nice green chopping board. I know you probably don't have all these colour-coded boards at home. But what you need to make sure is that you don't get the cross-contamination. You notice when I was explaining the tubs, I was quite conscious that I had a bit of chicken on my hands, so I didn't want to start touching all the different tubs. So make sure you wash down, sanitize the area, and have it nice and clean before you start chopping the other vegetables. So I've got my chilies here, I've got my onion. I'm just going to trim that up. Normally I wouldn't show people how to cut an onion or cut chilli, but I get asked that many times on how to chop an onion, believe it or not. and also how to cut up a chilli. So I just thought I'd just quickly show you. Peel the onion. Everybody's got their own way of doing this. Sometimes it comes off when I want it, sometimes it doesn't. So we just peel that and get rid of the rubbish here, and the same with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice my onions down. You can dice them nice and fine if you want, but I think it looks nicer in the finished dish if you just slice it. So just give that a quick slice down nice and fine. So what you don't want is a big lump of onion, so keep it nice and fine, like so. And then we have that ready at the side to put into the pan. The chilies, these are just normal basic chilies, not too hot. Take off the stem, take these off, put them in the bin, and then we just, what I normally do is just cut them in half, lengthwise, like so. Then push down either side, and then just take out the core and the seeds like that. So you've got them nice and clear like so. And then I'll do the same with the other one. The hottest part of the chilli, just in case you get asked this in a pub quiz, is the actual white pith is the hottest. Then the seeds are the next, and then the skin is the least heat. So cut that off, so, and then take out the seeds. Do the same with the next one. So taking it out like that. Just trying to angle it so as you can see. Get it like that. And then just take the seeds out. So, and the seeds from the second one. Take them out. Like that. And then what you want to do is just either slice it or dice it up fine. Again, I'm just going to slice these really fine. Like so. And the easiest way to slice them is if you have the skin side on the board and the kind of inside fleshy bit facing to the ceiling. And you'll find that your knife goes through it a lot easier, even when you're chopping things like peppers and things like that. If you have the skin side to the board, it makes it a lot easier to cut. So you can see I've got these nice little julienne, okay? So nice fine, thin strips, like so. And this is quite, obviously with the red Thai paste and also the chilli state, so it's going to be quite spicy. But it's really, really nice. And what happens is with the likes of the bamboo shoots and the coconut kind of calms the heat down a wee bit, so it kind of makes it a little milder, a bit milder. And then finally what I'm going to do is just get the zest of my lime. And I've got my little microplane here. And every Christmas I get all these Christmas presents, gadgets, things like that. It's a wee bit sad, I know, but I got this one Christmas and it's been fantastic, especially for doing the likes of ginger and things like that. It's a fantastic little gadget. I don't know if you've got one of these at home, but if you have it, race out and buy one. So just taking the zest off that. Don't want to get too much of the white pith because it's a bit bitter, so you just want the green kind of outer zest of the lime. Okay, so I've got that. I'll put that into my little bowl ready. Okay, so I've got my chicken ready, got my stock which I made yesterday, I've got my bamboo shoots, that's about half a tin, you know the little tins that you get. I've got my paste which I made, which is about a teaspoon in there, and the sugar and the coconut milk. And I've got over here a little bit of fish stock, fish sauce, and I've got some of my ground nut oil over here. So I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier on. Okay, so I've got a pan, so I'm just going to put the oil in first. Okay, so put the little bit of nut oil in first, like so, and then turn on the heater. Okay, so this is a little bit noisy, heats up really quick. So it's just come to heat, so it's a lot safer if you have a cold pan, put your oil in and then bring it up to temperature. It means you don't get burnt, splash, things like that. So I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. Down to number 5, so the heat's starting to come up. And so just let that, test that, see if it's starting to heat up okay. So what you want to do is make sure the temperature is enough just you see the bubbles appearing. So if you can see that, you can see it's just starting to bubble. And what I don't want to do is put the onion straight in and they brown and colour straight away. So we're going to put in the onion and then just cook it off. So, and it's just sweating off nicely. Sometimes what I do is I put a little bit of seasoned flour around the chicken. I'm not going to do it with this dish, but sometimes if you do that, it makes the sauce a little bit thicker, gives it a wee bit more body. But I'm not going to do it today. I'm just going to leave it quite thin. And the good thing is, you know, if it's a wee bit of body, the sauce kind of sits on the chicken and it looks nice for presentation. Whereas if you don't do that, it kind of soaks through the rice. But we're just going to do it quickly today. We're sweating off our onions. So once they go a little bit glassy and they're kind of soft, so you see I'm not colouring these at all. And then I'm just going to drop in my chicken, a little piece at a time, just kind of spread it out around the pan. There's quite a lot here for two portions. Put that in. And then just kind of lightly seal that off. Okay, and then we're going to put in our red Thai curry paste, which I made yesterday. So I'm just going to put about half of that in. Okay, so that's a large teaspoon. I'm just going to put half in, like so, because it is really hot. What I can do as well is I'll put the recipe on my Facebook page, and you can have a go at making that up. Just mix in the paste, get around the chicken. So, get all that nice paste round about the chicken. Then we've got our chilies, we're going to put in. And put that around. I'm going to turn it up slightly. Just quite a quick dish. I showed my son how to make this for when he was up in university. It's really quick. I send him up the paste and things like that. He takes it with him, or he buys it in the shop, and he just knocks it up. Really quick to do. And it's, if you're, I don't know if any of you are watching or in university, usually you have one pan does everything. So he's got a really good pan like this, non-stick. Uses it for any omelettes, you name it. He puts it in there. Turn it down slightly again. It's cooking quite quickly. Spices are catching in the throat. Then I'm going to put in the sugar. Just mix that in. Sugar kind of sweetens it up, takes away the kind of harsh, curry taste of it. And I've got my limes. Put that in. There. And then last of all, we've got our stalks. We'll mix that in. You can see it's got a nice colour appearing. Try not to shoot everything out of the pan. You see that chicken's starting to cook? Yep. And once it starts to firm up, whenever you feed it, it's not too soft. It's starting to cook nicely. Then I'm going to add in the fish sauce. So about a teaspoon of that. I'll just add that in. It gives it a nice kind of salty. So you'll notice that I didn't put any seasoning in there. I'm using this fish sauce or soy sauce. You can use to replace this if you haven't got this. It adds the seasoning to it, adds the salt to it. Just going to turn that down slightly. So it adds it to it, so you don't need to put any salt into it. Then we're going to put in our chicken stock. I'm just going to put about half of that in. Chicken stock, you'll see it's quite thick. What I've done is, whenever I make my chicken stock or stocks like that, depending on what I'm using it for, but if I know I'm going to use it for a sauce, the bones from the thighs, took the bones out, put them into a pot with some onions, wee bit of carrot, spreaded them off till the fat came out, added a wee bit of flour around them, and without colouring them, mixed the flour in round about the chicken legs, or chicken thigh bones, then added some water into it, and then reduced it down. And then what that done was the flour helped to thicken it up, so it give it a wee bit of body, and it also gives your sauce a little bit of body. So you can see that's quite nice kind of consistency in there, okay? So what I'm going to do is just let that reduce, keep that, just in case it reduces too much. And keep that back, just in case I need to thin it down a little bit. I've got my coconut milk, so I'm going to hang fire for that for a couple of seconds. And just let that reduce. Turn it up a bit. So I've got my coconut milk, so it's about half a tin in there. So I'm just going to pour that in. And that kind of calms it down a wee bit, gives it a beautiful flavour. And we'll just let that again reduce, put in our bean sprouts. And while that's reducing slightly, I shall set up my bowl with my coconut rice, which I have here. So again, what I've done was got the long grain rice, as I said earlier on, washed it off 3 or 4 times just to get all the starch out of it, and then cooked it off, a little bit of water and the other half of the coconut tin. Yeah, cooked it off till the liquid just starting to disappear and got all the juice out of it. I didn't wash it after it's cooked it, because you didn't want to get rid of all that nice flavour. So then what I've done is I've got a little bowl, so I'm just going to put my rice in here and I'm going to put it around the edge. That. So and put that like that. and we'll just let that cook for a couple of seconds. Another thing that I usually do when we do classes and I do this dish is we make a little mango dessert. There's not a lot there, but it's quite refreshing after you've had your curry. This is really, really basic, really, really easy, and if we do another video, I'll show you how to make that. But it's quite simple. You know, it's just pure mangoes. I know they're not in season at the minute, but you get the little packet or the little tub with the stuff that's already peeled and out of the skin. And if you use that, the juice, so you use the juice, boil it up with some water, some sugar, and some coconut milk again. Bring that to the boil. Put in some gelatin. Puree the mangoes. Add it all together. Let it set. Simple, simple. Really easy to make, and quite refreshing after you've had a curry. This is actually, you probably know this guy, but a guy called Ken Home. Myself and a few others were lucky to work with him up in Upton House, which is outside Glasgow, I think, between Glasgow and Edinburgh. Anyway, we've done a function, and this is one of the desserts we serve after his curry prawns. It was, and he served that and he showed us how to make it. You know, not a lot to learn really, but making that was quite simple. But so that was that. So we're just letting that reduce down a little bit, thicken up, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get some nice basil leaves, and we're just going to rip them up and put them through it. So you get a nice colour. So we put that, rip it up. You can slice them if you want, but it tends to bruise them a wee bit. I think that you can see the colour of them through it. You see that looks quite nice. Beautiful. So we've got that reducing. You can see it looks quite nice. Yeah. Beautiful colour. And then what I'll do is I'll spoon some of that into the middle of that, serve it up, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. So in the meantime, I'm going to eat this little dessert while my chicken's cooking out, which will take another 4 or 5 minutes. Beautiful. And that is it. So hopefully you enjoy that and have a little bash at making the. It's really, really quick, cheap to make, and as I say, it's good for these guys that are students and things like that. They want to make themselves a nice curry, get your metabolism going. Fantastic. Just what I'll do is just have a wee taste of it. Just a quick taste. Beautiful. Quite hot, but not. Initially, you get quite a heat from all the chilies, but it's not overly overpowering. But it's, if you like curries and you like Thai food, this is the one for you. Okay, so thank you very much, and maybe see you again hopefully in the not too distant future. Okay, thank you.